Fire the Predator in Unit Delta. The first thing everyone noticed about her was her size. Big, soft-looking, slow-moving, the kind of inmate predators circled like vultures. When the new black inmate walked into Unit Delta, the racist gang at the back table didn't even bother whispering. "Look at that whale," their leader sneered. "Bet she won't last a week." By lunch, they had already chosen her as their entertainment. 4 gang members cornered her in the cafeteria, shoving her tray out of her hands, laughing as food splattered across her shirt. But she didn't yell, didn't swing back, didn't even blink. She just looked down at the floor, breathing slow, controlled, measured, like a woman counting seconds. What they didn't notice were her scarred knuckles, or the tattoo half hidden under her sleeve. Not a prison tat, but a special operations mark most people would never recognize. And when the biggest gang member tried to grab her by the collar, the entire cafeteria watched a miracle of violence unfold. Because the woman they thought was harmless moved with the deadly precision of someone who once stormed enemy compounds in the dark. Within 10 seconds, everyone realized they hadn't picked on a weak inmate. They had just started a war with a former Marine raider trained to end fights before they begin. Sparkles, the new arrival. Her name was Marsha Williams, a heavy-set 43-year-old who moved through the yard with deliberate steps. Her weathered face showed no emotion as inmates sized her up. What they saw was exactly what Marsha wanted them to see: a tired, middle-aged woman carrying extra weight, moving like someone who'd given up fighting long ago. The Aryan Sisterhood's leader, Tanya "Tank" Morrison, watched from her usual spot near the weight pit. Tank had been running operations in Unit Delta for 6 years, her pale skin covered in swastika tattoos and crude prison ink that told stories of violence and hatred. "Fresh meat," Tank announced to her crew. "Big girl looks like she's carrying commissary money. Time to collect our welcome tax." But Marsha wasn't just any new inmate. 25 years earlier, she had graduated top of her class at the Marine Corps School of Infantry. By 21, she was conducting classified operations in places that didn't exist on maps. The Marines had taken a kid from Detroit and forged her into something deadlier than anyone in this prison could imagine. Cross swords hashed the cafeteria showdown. That evening, Tank's crew approached Marsha in a diamond formation. "You sitting in our spot, girl." Tank sneered. Marsha kept eating, her movements slow, deliberate. When Tank held her tray across the room, Marsha finally looked up. "Apologize," she said quietly. The cafeteria erupted in laughter. But when Tank reached for her collar, Marsha moved. In less than 3 seconds, Tank was gasping on the floor, her wrist crushed, ribs bruised, and face blooded against the table. Marsha calmly picked up her milk carton and took a sip. "Like I said, apologize." Word spread through Unit Delta faster than wildfire. By evening count, everyone knew the new inmate had put Tanya Morrison on her back in under 3 seconds. Shield hashed the yard battle. Tank wasn't finished. The next morning, she gathered 17 women, her crew plus borrowed muscle from the Latin queens. They planned to take Marsha down in the yard. Marsha chose her ground carefully. Near the fence, open terrain, clear sight lines. When the attack came, she dismantled them with surgical precision. A throat punch here, a leg sweep there, an elbow to the temple. Within 30 seconds, 8 women were down. Finally, Tank herself charged with a sharpened shiv. Marsha stepped inside her reach, snapped her wrist, and drove a knee into her ribs. Tank collapsed in a heap. "Anybody else want to discuss disrespect?" Marsha asked quietly. The yard fell silent. The hierarchy of Unit Delta had just changed overnight. New Moon symbol aftermath. Tank and her crew were sent to segregation. The Latin queens backed off. By evening, Marsha was the most respected inmate in Unit Delta. Her cellmate, Tammy, whispered nervously, "You just signed your death warrant. They'll come for you." Marsha turned a page in her book. "Let them come. I've been dealing with people who want to kill me since before you were born." Veteran inmates like Big Jean, a scarred Vietnam vet, recognized her military bearing. "Marine?" she asked.
Marsha nodded.
"Then you know, control the terrain, control the battle." High Voltage signed the new apex predator. Marsha wasn't interested in running gangs or controlling territory. She just wanted to serve her time in peace. But respect earned through violence is a double-edged sword. Someone would always test her. For now, though, Unit Delta had a new apex predator. And every inmate knew it.